Here's another quick fix video for you. So I'm working on the F-16. I was thinking about this nose that was bent down, you know, like so. And I got thinking that'd be nice to straighten that out a little bit. And got all these big gouges and stuff out of it. But got to thinking that Gorilla Glue is great at fixing things like that. So get out our water sprayer. Just light spray of water onto the surface. Get out our Gorilla Glue. And we don't need a lot, but I want to fill in these holes. This Gorilla Glue will expand, and it's going to make a bit of a mess, but nonetheless it will expand, and then I'll be able to sand down some bits, and it'll tend to fill in that area where it's kind of messed up. Okay, so I'm just going to take my finger and just smear it up there a bit. Get a little bit smeared around down here and onto those surfaces there. A little bit into that crack through there. This is good for people who like to get their fingers all sticky. Okay. Now the hard part is knowing how much I need to fill that up. I'm going to give it another drop in this area here. Okay. And just smear a tiny bit around there. Okay, now the next thing that you need to do is you need to tape it up, because the glue will expand out. It'll sort of foam up and expand out, and it'll go as far as you let it. So we want to limit it as to how far it can go. And so we're going to tape it up to tell it you go this far and no farther. And hopefully as we tape it, we will have that nose straight to where it is where we want it. It won't be totally smooth when we get this finished. We'll have some finishing work to do on it. But nonetheless, that I think is going to fill up those gaps. At least we'll try it. You know, bit of an experiment. So looking at that, I think that's pretty straight, the way we might want it to be. Some of this paint will come off, so you need to be prepared to repaint after using Gorilla Glue in a situation like this. Okay, so we're going to allow that to dry, get off any extra that's on there. Yep. So the water helps to cure it, so they spray water on there. Where it's open to air, you don't necessarily need to do that, but generally with foam, especially where you're going foam to foam, you definitely need to spray it. In this particular case, I figure it wouldn't hurt. Well, I've pulled the tape off, and that's what she looks like. It's now nice and rigid. The big gaps that were in there are now filled with this foam that the Gorilla Glue has created. Got a few wrinkles where the tape was wrinkled and not quite down. I could have given some more attention to. So anyway, we will sand those off. The foam doesn't tend to sand as well as the Gorilla Glue does. But I think what I'll do next is I'll put some filler on there. And if worse came to worse, we could put some CA, foam safe CA onto it to give it a more of a type of material that can sand. Got little bits of tape here that are sort of half on, half off, so they're trying to get those on, off the rest of the way. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, I'm just going to give it a bit of a spray to dampen that surface. And I'm going to take some model light, some filler. I'm going to use this just to tidy up some of the rough bits. Keep in mind this stuff sands off really easy, so we can be a bit generous with it. And of course the reason why we didn't use this at the start is because it was all flexible and it just flopped around, so it needed some strength. So the Gorilla Glue has provided that strength. And this is now going to give us the final finish. Well, it's now dry, so let's see what we can do with it. Okay, looking pretty good. Now let's get some paint. And I'm just going to go for, I don't know, we go for black or we try to do a silver. Got a black tail nozzle. Okay, so we mix a little bit of Mod Podge with the black. Mod Podge I put in there to dull it up a bit and to give it a little bit more strength. You can use any sort of water-based paint. It's got a magnet inside, so just a way to hold it. And here she is, finished and ready to go. Much nicer than what it was before we started the repair. Ready to rip and roar.